Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Divine Brothers podcast here with the true brothers who always together here. But I have to, Chase, I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a little Austin rant here because, Austin, I had an experience this week. I went down a deep, deep YouTube and reading rabbit hole called David Foster Wallace. Okay. Now, I have to tell you, Austin, I listened to a lot of this guy. I read the first little bit of Infinite Jest, and I've come to one conclusion. Bandana. Austin, I think it's time you become a bandana guy, just like David Foster Wallace. It is the look, it is the way forward, and I can see you are his reincarnated self. You can be the bandana guy. What do you think, man? Would you adopt the look?
Look, man, if I was the bandana guy, I don't think, first of all, I don't think I could pull it off. David Foster Wallace was a literary genius. His name is going to live in the accolades of great writers for the next 100 years, 200 years. And when you're that good at something, you can do something weird like the bandana. But if you're just me, then I'm not good enough for it. I can't do
I
that.
will I will say though, Austin. So Austin mentioned this guy before, Chase. He's I don't know what the category is. He's just a really good writer. Austin actually shared a little. Would you call it a poem? The one about the boy who the burning children. You remember that?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it would
Yeah,
constitute as a poem, but a very short, dense story for sure.
little narrative sort of thing. But I thought of David. How I came across David Foster Wallace this week is because um, I'm reading a book on poetry, and there was a Robert Frost poem. You guys remember Robert Frost? Remember like the road less traveled by, blah blah blah.
It's a good
That sort of.
poem. Yeah.
It's a
Well,
great poem.
let me tell you, I read a poem called. It was called like it was called like the hand or slice or something like that, and it was about a child, like a very little child who loses his hand in a sawmill. Like it was a poem about like the child screaming with his hand hanging off,
Oh
and he's
my God.
telling the doctor like, "Don't let him cut off my hand, sister. Don't let him cut off my hand." Like it's a really boot, and I was like, "Oh man, this reminds me of the shit Austin was sharing with me before." And but I started watching him on like Charlie Rose, this David Foster Wallace guy. I have never seen somebody radiate genius with their speech so clearly. He was
Really?
so precise. He spoke like a novel. Like every word was just perfectly chosen. Like he had a poetry to his speech that was it forced you to recognize his genius. You know what I mean? Like just he you just I stood in awe of his command of the English language. And it was cool to see because I haven't really seen that before. Like I've seen a lot of writers and stuff, but they don't necessarily communicate through their speech just how genius they are. He absolutely did. He had a clarity that was shocking. It made me super jealous. I was like, I wish I could communicate just as clearly as you do. I felt exactly how he
Did,
felt. Like, his words were so precise.
I imagine if you had like a wish, Dean, one of them might be to be like, I just want to be one of the best communicators ever, like with my
I
words.
am one of the best communicators ever, but I have problems. If I could do anything, I'd fix my eyes so that they weren't like a little bit crossed. I'd make them totally straight. And I think I'd go a little taller, and then
Hmm.
I'd wish be to have some really good hair, really really good hair, and then I think I'd be good.
Yes. Yeah, right on, brother.
Like like some beautiful locks, like just bang gorgeous,
So,
gorgeous.
well, before we get too far off, I've heard of this guy. I've never read anything. I'm looking at his pictures. I've never heard him speak, but he definitely does not rock the bandana well. Like that is
It's
not,
it's his thing,
no,
man.
but
He
it doesn't look
stuck
good.
with it.
Doesn't look
He's
good.
stuck. Austin, what do you think about it? What do
No.
you think of the bandana, man? Give me the Austin opinion.
I totally get it. I don't know what the origin of the bandana was. It definitely became like his thing. I think I've seen a David Foster Wallace book with like it just has a bandana on the front cover, so it became
Mm.
that iconically attached to him. But I think it's very easy to get stuck into a pattern where you feel it's like a safety blanket. I don't know if he did it for fashion. I think he just felt comfortable in it, and so he continued to wear it. I think maybe later in his life he got rid of it. I believe. I don't think it was like it was definitely a iconic thing, but I don't know if he stuck with it for like his entire life.
Do you think it looked good on him?
Uh,
No.
It was distinct. I mean, like Einstein had his hair. I mean, we
Yeah,
have very people
yeah.
had have distinctive characteristics, and now you have an image. You might even think of the bandana before you think of his face, or you might even not know his
What did
face.
I ask
And
you?
that's exactly what the case
No,
is, man. It
I
doesn't
want to know
matter
what
if it
he
looks
thinks.
good or not
He didn't answer the question. He always does this. He intellectualizes. Well, Chase, you have to
because he
understand that
gave you a
it's an
what he
image.
did, Chase, is
It's a hallmark. He'll
he
never be
gave you an
forgotten.
answer. He gave you an answer to a better question.
I want
That's
to
what
know
he
what he thinks. He never takes a side. I wanted to know. Does it look good? I don't think it looked good. We could have gave him like a hat. He could have had like a cool hat, a
That is
weird.
not iconic.
Yeah,
It's not
absolutely it
iconic.
is. Absolutely a fucking
Name a
unique
guy with
hat.
an iconic hat. Name a guy with an iconic hat.
A writer?
Anybody.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
It's a good
Indiana
answer.
Jones. Yeah, 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 that's true. That's good.
Thank you,
That's
Austin.
good.
I'm
See?
sorry for yelling at you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry for yelling at you. He could have done something cool. If you have the fate, like you're gonna wear a bandana, your face has got to pop. His face is so plain, and it's like
I seem to remember you wearing bandanas for a bit. I seem to remember that.
everybody did at some point, right? The bandanas are cool.
Never in my Austin, you ever worn a bandana?
Maybe for like a day.
See, there you go. Yeah.
Bandanas are what I put on my dog. That's it. Get the dog a bandana, you know.
I think everybody tries out the bandana once in their life. Probably as a teenager, you wear it, people make fun of you, you take it off, and
I have a
that's the end of it.
bandana now. You know what I do with it?
Correct.
You know what I do with it? It's a Snoopy bandana, and I tie it to my luggage. So when it comes out, I know it's fucking mine. Like, yeah, that's fucking mine, Snoopy. Yeah.
Have you ever had trouble with that? I've never had trouble identifying my
Yes.
luggage. I always know like
Because
that's
I've
mine.
borrowed a bunch of luggage now and luggage looks the same. You got to have something on it to.
I guess I've had the same thing for a long time. You know,
Hmm.
I remember. You know what I remember? I remember how I bought this suitcase. I went to go buy it with our uncle, and I was like, "Where do I buy a big ass suitcase for cheap?" Because luggage is expensive. Like the shit they said, the fancy shit. Oh my god, I couldn't believe how expensive it was. And he was
Hmm.
like, "Go to Ross." I was
Yep.
like, "Ross." Yeah, Austin, they got
Yeah.
Ross in Alabama, right?
Yeah, we definitely do.
I liked Ross because I felt like I'm firmly in my class. I like this.
Ross has
Um,
everything. Everything.
it's got that just. There's always like it's just all thrown all over the place. You know, there's no organization to it. There's one angry black woman dealing with a million customers as a cashier. You know, and yeah, we sure enough we found a giant Tommy Hilfiger suitcase. It's like $20. I was like, oh fuck, that's great. This is the place, man. I remember that.
Ross is every time you go into Ross, you buy something that you never thought you might need. Huh? A pair of socks. Oh,
Yeah.
$30 shoes. Sure. Right on. I last time I went to Ross, I was looking for a strap pack for backpacking, something to keep my wallet like around my, I
Oh
was
yeah,
looking
sure. Like
online. I was like, man, this shit's like almost $100 for this shit. This is fucking nuts.
crazy.
Ross, $10. Exact same one online, $10. I was like, fucking Ross, man.
I
Love it.
think Ross is like the ultimate example of trickle down economics. Like at the very bottom of the trickle is Ross. You know,
It-
when something's been rejected a million, it finally ends up at
Let me
Ross. You
ask you
know,
this. You want to go shopping any store or versus Ross? If somebody tell, hey, you want to go shopping at Ross? Yeah, yeah, okay. I'll go. I'll probably get something, man. Something I probably need
see,
at Ross.
Austin, I'm curious about this because you're a gay man, Austin. Do you have even a little tinge of, let's go shopping in you? Or no, not even a little bit?
My greatest shopping experience was finding a bunch of gray shirts on clearance, and if that tells you anything.
Okay. Okay. All right, boys. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have been with gay guys. I
Hey,
had this buddy,
that probably made
Eli.
his day. That was probably like peak fucking. That's probably happiest you'd ever see Austin right there. Yeah.
I think
It's
about
like,
it all the time. I got like I want to say about 10 gray shirts. They had little pockets, and I've talked about it before. I get excited when I think about it. They're $2 a piece, and they're the best shirt. They fit me perfectly. You ever find a shirt that fits you
Yes.
perfectly?
Yeah.
Do you have 8 of those shirts? I bet you don't.
I used to have lots of them. Your brother stole every fucking one of them from me
Well, I
and
do.
claimed them as his own.
It- you know what? Speaking of which, I maintain my favorite Chase shirt. I don't know where this shirt is, Chase. My favorite shirt that you
No, don't
ever
say
had
it.
was
Don't say it, Dean. Please don't
"Let
say it.
Go of My Ego." Let go of my ego. I remember that shirt. Where is that shirt, Chet? Who took it? Where is it? That was the fucking shirt, man. Nothing ever looked better on you, and it's gone. What happened to it, man?
Yeah, we had a flag football team in college, and we were called the STDs. That was the name of the team. But we were yellow, and you had to have a yellow shirt. And one day, our captain forgot his yellow shirt, and they weren't going to let him play. And I had my "Let Go of My Ego" shirt in my car. I let him borrow it, and he loved it. He immediately knew how cool it was. It's like the cool jacket in Seinfeld, the one that Kramer had. If you wear this shirt, people like you. Hey, I like Egos, man. Yeah, man, Egos. Yeah. He never gave it back, ever. And he purposely avoided me. Not only that, after college, years later, randomly talking to somebody like you just asked me, reminded me, I emailed him and gave him my address. And he goes, I still have it and you're not getting it. That's what he told me.
No, he didn't no, he didn't even lie. He was just like, nah,
I think he
it's
added an
mine.
LOL. I was like,
It's mine. Oh,
I
son of
pray
a
we run across each other one day. Pray.
bitch.
It's a
It's
powerful
funny.
shirt.
I remember that name, the STD. Another Chase memory just came up. Somehow, I just remembered Chase one time had a fantasy football team called the Cum Guzzling Perverts. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The Cum Guzzling.
Yeah, that's great. It was in a group of Christians too. They got so mad.
Wait, who came up with that name?
I did. They all had horrible names like Cincinnati Bengals or Jesus
Oh.
loves you too. And I'm like, you know what? Got to change the mood in here.
How did you get into this group of friends? How the hell did that happen,
I
man?
was good at fantasy football and I got invited to other groups.
Ah, I see. Okay, they're like, all right, this guy's a player.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah. Man, that sucks. You think you're getting involved, like invited to the VIP elite circle, and it's going to be all cool and clubby, but it's just a bunch of power Christians. No,
Did
it's
so you
just,
know what I did when I played fantasy football? I had a
yeah.
preseason and I would give my reviews on the team name and the team name like projected league finish. Like, yeah, that's fucking you fucking clueless, you're a fucking retard, so it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember fantasy football. I never played it because I never was that into football and stuff like that. But I remember it was big. Do people still do it? I'm sure they do.
Oh
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then people actually do it for a profession now. It's interesting. That's how big of stakes they
Profession.
get. Yeah.
Christ, yeah, I didn't know that.
They got a little too
I
big.
miss when things used to just be for fun though, like that.
Still is.
My favorite thing was making a bracket during March Madness because everybody can make a bracket. You know, like you get people who didn't know anything about sports. They're like, yeah, I'll make a bracket. I like the name George Mason. I'll put that for it.
You know,
And
you know how many
fun.
winners they've had?
Ooh, there's always like one every year, one or two, right?
Of all the years, how many times do you think someone's nailed it?
Mm. Seem to remember like ESPN. Isn't there like one every year, like one or two?
No,
Really?
no.
Oh shit.
Because there's like 64 games or
Yeah, yeah.
32 games. Oh yeah, 64
Stati-
games. Yeah, you got to get all 64 right.
Statistically impossible. Eh? Okay, how many times? Yeah.
Zero.
No way.
Zero.
Really?
It's never happened.
Am I
That's why
remembering
they're
that?
like $10 million. I'm like, yeah, nobody's gonna fucking win it.
It's fucking impossible. I see what you. Well, you
Six
get. Oh, you know
64 in
what
a row.
I think what I'm probably thinking of is people who pick the champion. They're like, oh yeah, I picked they were going to win it all.
That's super
Not getting
hard
everything.
too. That's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice about it because you never know who's going to come out on top. It's not always Duke or
Hey,
North Carolina.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me ask you this, because this is the worst part about watching that shit. So years
Right.
ago, your alma mater, Dean, Texas Tech makes it to the finals, and it's
Gonna
fucking
be Auburn.
close. You
It's going to
guys
be
had
Auburn.
it on TV. It's the finals. It's come down to the last minute, and they lost. How did you feel when they lost?
I for it happened to be I was teaching at that time. It was one of my first teaching jobs in Suzhou. I was in the middle of a class when it was going on, and I told the class like, everybody, we're not no history today. We're watching this game, And for the whole class, we watched the game. It was a fucking nail biter, man. And it was great. The kids got into it. They didn't know a damn thing
Were they
about
cheering
college
for your
basketball.
team?
Oh fuck yeah! They were like, Mr. Kyle. I was like, what are they called? They're called Raiders. Like they're called criminal. Like a Raider's like a criminal. And they're like red criminal, red criminal, red criminal. So yeah, it was good, man. It
Dude,
was dude,
that's great.
it's
But
fun.
how did you feel after? How did you feel when you lost?
I was sad. I was sad, but I think the thing I was really sad about is it was going to be a brother bowl, man. It was going to be Auburn
Oh
versus
yeah,
Tech.
yeah, we got
That would have been
fucked.
so cool. That would have been so fucking cool. But I remember though, because I used to go watch those games with my buddy in graduate school, Fred. Fred was a cool dude, but they were fun. And I remember him telling me like, "Watch this team, man. Watch this fucking team. This team is going places."
Yeah,
Like he knew, he fucking saw it way before anybody. And it was cool. I liked it. I was a little invested.
yeah. Well, that's what you do. You go to the games out there in the middle of nowhere. Man, I Auburn made it to a football championship game years ago against Florida State. I just landed in Bangkok. I'm just fresh in Bangkok, and I'm
Yep.
trying to find a place to watch this. Trying to go in the bars. They don't have American football on. It's in the morning. I walk in this one bar in the corner. They got this TV on, and there's two other guys sitting there. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, you Americans?" Yeah, they went to Florida State. I went to Auburn.
Mm, yeah.
They were cool, but it was back and forth. Oh, you fucked. Oh, we got you now, man. It hurt when the final bell rang and we lost at the very end.
Ah,
It was
brutal.
crushing. The guy was nice. He shook my hand, but I was like, I don't want to shake your hand. I want to punch you. Like it was like I remember thinking, why do I watch this shit? Like this is horrible. Like it ruined my day. Like I guess I watch it for the opposite,
Well,
hoping.
yeah,
But
exactly. Is the opposite worth it? It's like a yin and a yang sort of thing.
oh,
Because how would it feel if you're the one that, speaking of, certain people's brothers here, I remember one time, Austin, I happened to be in Huntsville and was at Chris's house watching, I think it was the Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn. And Chris is an Auburn guy, right? Austin, is that correct?
I mean, Garrett went to Auburn, so I'd say him definitely. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise
he
me.
likes
So,
Auburn over Bama. Yeah.
so yeah, anyways, Austin Duncan was in the house, and for some reason he was watching the game. The game was on multiple screens, and he was watching it in another room. And Auburn I think this was the daylight Saban time, like the where they do the kick and they run it back. The Auburn
Oh
guy
yeah, yeah,
runs back the
yeah,
touchdown from the
yeah.
end zone to win the game. And I remember, I remember Chris screaming out because Austin Duncan was a Bama fan, and he said, Duncan, get out of my house! Like just screams it at him like that, and I liked that. I liked the pettiness that can be
Well,
highlighted in a ball
that
game.
that was a great time. So they watched in separate rooms, that Austin and Chris, like, and there was a reason why, because they were watching it together at first. They just started talking shit, but mostly Austin saying some really just like "fuck you, motherfucker." It's just like, what did you just say, man?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he knew it's probably best to watch it by myself, just to avoid it. But they were yelling at each other from a couple rooms over at the end. It was fucking. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's fun
Austin,
when we won. I'm glad we won. Yeah.
Austin,
Yeah.
do you like sports at all? Any sport, anywhere?
Uh, there's things that I would watch, like if I'm scrolling the channels like we did 10 years ago, and I watch ESPN like 3, and I saw ping pong, or I like the weird ones, like when you watch the Olympics, what's the curling? Like I watch stuff like that because I think it's fun. But for like 5 minutes. But to answer your question, no, Dean, I don't.
When you were in school, did like anybody ever force you to play a sport? Did you play any sport at all? Or you,
Before everybody get taller than me, I was okay. We play dodgeball and stuff like that.
oh, but never football or basketball or soccer or any of that
I
stuff.
did in eighth grade. This is where but people were starting to get taller than I was at that point. I'm not a big dude by any means, so just physically, practically speaking, I couldn't really keep up with the how things were going. So
Yeah, yeah. Chase can relate. He knows what that's like. You know.
I remember a very one of my most distinctive memories of young Chase. He was pretty young. Man, I forget which football stadium we were at, but he was playing high school or maybe even middle school football. But he had taken a pretty hard hit to the head, and he came outside, and everybody was standing around him, like, "Oh, you okay, man? You okay?" Yeah, I don't know if he remembers that since the head trauma and all that, but I don't know why I brought that up.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Imagine that.
I might have
You know
just.
what
I
I
got a
remember about
story.
this is I know, go ahead, Austin. All right.
Yeah, sorry, Dean. This is another one that flashed in my head. But we used to hang out. When Chris and Chase would play football, we used to be there together sometimes as young kids, right?
I remember going underneath the bleachers. That's what I remember. Like
See,
going
Suck,
under.
sucking dick.
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah,
Were
well, so
we, were we sucking dick? I don't remember that,
no,
Austin. What? Tell me what you remember. Yeah.
no, that's not what came to mind. I think I'd recall
Oh,
that. But yeah, it came to me kind of forcefully, and I remember you. We were like jumping. We were underneath the bleachers. We were like jumping around. You would hit your head pretty hard in the forehead, and you were bleeding. And that's another distinctive memory from those days.
man, I don't remember any of this. That's such a blur for me, man. All those memories from Alabama, I don't really remember anything. I remember like gigantic Hot Wheels tracks and forts in your basement, like gigantic blanket forts in your basement. And I remember like you had a lizard. I think you had a lizard. Am I remembering that right, Austin? A lizard. Hmm.
Yeah, very briefly. I'm surprised you were there for that. Actually, I had a bearded
Yeah,
dragon.
yeah. I remember being a kid and thinking the lizard's fucking cool. Like I was like that. That's a cool thing. I like the lizard,
Well,
and
uh,
that's it. There's no other memories of Alabama. They're all gone.
you know what? I remember the vibe. Huntsville, Alabama has a it's a unique vibe. And at first I like it. And then at some point I just have to get out of there. But it's got a feel to it. I guess I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or am I just fucking nuts? Mm.
I don't know. I heard that we have the most PhDs per capita of
It, it,
any city.
you bring up a good point because it's rednecks and engineers. And I've had some of the most awkward. I remember moving there as a kid. This is what I remember. And I remember like, man, these people are different. I didn't even say weird. I was like, I wonder if it's me or if I wonder if it's them. But you got autistic kids everywhere. You got engineers that are thinking numbers before, anything else. Nobody really kept up with the sports like they did in like the hood in Dallas. It was a culture shock. But it's such a weird mix because you got dumb with intelligent and they're breeding. You know? And it's just like, what the fuck is going on in this town? This place is bizarre. Oh, strange place.
Alabama definitely has a feeling to. I always feel Alabama when I'm there. I'm like, this feels different. The closest I ever came to it outside of Alabama, believe it or not, was Newcastle, Australia, which is like a little town, like a few hours away from Sydney and stuff. And it had that small town, like kind of like the world doesn't really touch this place kind of vibe, and people kind of slower, but like kind, like conversational and stuff like that. And that was the closest I came. Gasoline and freshly cut grass. That's the smell of Alabama to me. Gasoline and freshly cut grass. If I
What
smell that, I think of
what do you think of when you drive into that state and you see that sign that says
Alabama.
Alabama, the beautiful? And it always makes me like a little angry. Like where? Where? Is there directions? Where are you taking me? I've seen beautiful and that is not in that fucking state, man.
Have you ever seen Top Gear? The old Jeremy Clarkson, James May
Oh
sort of
yeah,
thing.
sure, sure. Yeah.
The one where they go to Alabama. You seen
No,
that?
no.
Ah, that's the best. Austin, you know what I'm talking about?
I know the show. I don't remember the episode.
Listen, after this, you guys got to look this up. It's one of the great videos of all time. So what they do is they're driving across America in like shitty old American cars from the 70s, And what they do is before they go into Alabama, they have to go right on each other's cars, something that's going to get them shot. That's what the thing says. Like try to piss off as many people in Alabama as you can. So one of them is like, it's like Honk for Man Love, and the other one is like Hillary is the best, and then the other one is like just fucking crazy shit. So, anyways, they drive into like they're in the middle of nowhere, like Arab, Alabama, getting gas, and they're all pulled up together with these signs on the cars. And this lady, this big fat lady, comes out, and she's like, "Now, are you guys from around here? Are you trying to get shot? You think you can run into a hick town like this?" And they're like, "Oh no, sorry about that, lady." Blah blah blah. And anyways, guys on trucks just drive in, like 20 guys in the back of a trunk, like the hillbilly army come in and stuff like that. And the cameras like go out and they have to fucking bolt, and they're talking on the radio, and the one guy's like, "I need to jump. I can't start my car. I can't start my car." And then they rush out of Alabama and shit like that. And I was like, "Oh my God, did that shit really just happen?" It's all on video. It's great. You got to watch it.
If you're in the good old boy group in Alabama, you are the top dog in that
Yeah.
area, man. Yeah. I got one story like that. I was high school. I'm a sophomore playing with seniors, so occasionally they'd invite me out with them to hang out on the weekends. And one time we were in the car with four or five of very prominent figures now, I will say. But these were the big dogs. And we were driving down the road. We'd all been drinking. I hadn't, but they had. And this motorcycle guy's coming down the other side of the road. They're like, "Hey man, I'm gonna swerve at him." I'm like, "What? What?" Dude, they swerved at him, freaked him out. And this guy starts tailing around and following us. There's like four or five of us in the car. He pulls over. He comes up. He's like, "Motherfucker, you tried to kill me," which they kind of did. Like, he tried to kill me. So I dropped my phone, man. Sorry about that. He's like, "Oh, bullshit, man, bullshit." And they're like, "Well, what are you going to fucking do about it? Do you want to do something about it?" That's just like, man, this is fucking privileged fucking jock Alabama shit, dude. It was, and that guy left. He looked at the car. He's like, no, no, those were
Dude,
huge guys. Huge guy. He would have got pummeled.
this is like a legendary chapter in Chase's life. Chase, didn't you guys used to go like before games and watch like vintage porn together as a team?
They kept winning. They kept that going for a while after we were winning in playoffs.
It
Yeah, it
was
was weird.
it was like old porn, right? Like
I
really
hated it.
old,
Bush, tons of bushes, and it was gross, man.
like
Horrible
Debbie
music.
Does Dallas, like that sort of shit.
Indeed, man. It was fucking weird. I only went once or twice. Like, fuck this shit. It's like, this is stupid.
Did you ever see Boogie Nights?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Austin, you ever seen Boogie Nights?
Of course.
Yeah. Did you know that Mark's penis in the
Prosthetic.
end is prosthetic? Prosthetic.
Yeah.
I
Mark
remember that though.
Wahlberg?
I remember that review. Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing that and just going like, "Oh my God." I couldn't believe it. And then I saw one of those in real life. I was like, "Holy shit. They're real. They're out there. There's freaks like this."
Yeah, that director just released a new movie, One Battle After Another. I've been meaning to see it.
Me and William were talking about seeing that the other day. And you know what sold me on? You know why I agreed to see? I don't know anything about it. Leo. I
Leo.
was like, Leo don't make bad movies, man. Like even his worst movies are right. You know, like I think I'm gonna
He's,
watch that too.
have you ever heard Leo give an interview on some type of virtue signaling bullshit? Like
Never heard
he
Leo give
just,
an interview.
he dates 20 to 24-year-olds. He never gives
Uh,
any opinions on life, and that's it.
you know
That's,
what I like about him now? I like that he's a little out of shape. He's kind of getting Marlon Brando-y, but he's
oh,
still just
he don't
doesn't
care.
matter.
He don't,
Doesn't matter.
it's
It doesn't
great.
matter. He can do whatever he wants. Like that's a great place to be, dude. He's just Leo. Everybody love
He
Leo.
doesn't age. He looks great. He looks just
He's
young.
even a little doughy, but he looks good. He looks good, like a good doughy. You know?
Man,
I
I'm with you. I wish I could hang out with him. I'll go see his movie. Why not? Sure, sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard good things so far. Yeah.
If you could hang out with one Hollywood guy, who would it be?
Austin, who would it be?
I have to think, man. They're all God.
It was a good answer. It was a
Who's
good
that
answer. I
guy
thought.
that did a massive that Jew rant? I feel bad. I can't think of his name.
You
Did
mean Mel
the
Gibson?
Mel Gibson? Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would be interesting. That'd be a hell of a
I
story.
think I think I'd piss Mel off at some point. He'd like get in my face and be yelling at me and some shit like that. But he seems
I
pretty
think
cool. I got nothing against Mel. He's got
I
a
think Mel's
temper.
a little on the spectrum. You know what I mean?
He's got
Did
a
you ever hear
temper.
those tapes? You ever
Yes.
hear those tapes? You
Yeah, they're
remember
great.
those?
Yeah, they're great.
Oh my gosh! You ever hear the tapes of Mel Gibson way back in the day?
What was it?
yelling at
Multiple
his
tapes? Was
yelling
it
at his
he?
Russian
Yeah,
girlfriend.
multiple. It's
Yeah,
Russian girlfriend. And dude, he loses it.
he's
Like,
great. He's
it is
great.
next level anger. And
But
he says like crazy shit, crazy shit. It's great. It's great. You
I
know?
had a buddy in Hawaii, older gentleman, who had a Russian pro girl staying with him. She's my
Yeah.
girlfriend. Weeks later, I went over there. The cops were there. She's claimed that he kidnapped her. Like he was, I've never seen
Oh,
him that crazy. Like he was crazy. And I was like, he's not like that usually, officer. He's usually pretty stable. That bitch is not. And they're like, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Connor.
dude, let me tell you something, man. I've encountered a lot of Russians here in China because Beijing's kind of got a lot of Russians. Like a lot of
Oh yeah,
Russians come for
sure.
college,
Sure.
stuff like that. So, and I've noticed a few things. Number one, Russians stick together. They like other Russians. Number two, they have a weird emotion to them. It's like I've had many conversations with Russians that somehow lead to like talking about their grandfather beating them because they were in Afghanistan. And like that's where the conversation goes. It's all they could ever talk about is the fucking Afghanistan war and they fucking that sort of shit. And I don't know. My general experience has said to me, best to avoid Russians. I haven't
Yeah.
really come across one that I'm like, let's be friends. It's been more like, let's not talk again.
They're cold stoic people. Absolutely. Oh,
Cold.
well, Austin, why did you say Mel Gibson? Is that what you fucking said?
Yeah, all I remembered about him, I thought he was canceled because he got arrested because he was really intoxicated, and he was like went on a rant about the Jews, and he was canceled forever because of that. I didn't know about the Russian stuff. It sounded like an Alec Baldwin situation. Do you
Oh, no, no.
remember he left his 11-year-old daughter a voice message at Get Out? He called her like a rude little pig and all this stuff. It was
Dude,
pretty
it's way
brutal.
It's
worse
good
than that.
parenting. Good parenting.
It's
Seems
what
like.
the fucking because the whole thing, the Russian, he's having a conversation with this Russian girl, and he doesn't know he's being recorded. And he's saying oh my God. He was just like
I'm gonna listen to it after the show. It's gonna be great.
he
Yeah.
starts screaming there. He's like, "You listen to me, whore. You come in and you blow me first. Then you say thank you and you back." Like oh my God. It
But
was great.
it
It
was
was
good.
great.
It was
Oh my
great.
God.
And the only time I hear that, I wonder if I'd end up that way if I had all that money. And I think, yeah, probably, probably. I'd probably be
Yeah.
like, you should be grateful I let you suck my dick,
See,
fucking whore. Yeah.
I'm a big Opie and Anthony fan. Like I've listened to all the Opie and Anthony stuff with Patrice O'Neill and stuff. So their peak was the 2000s, right? And so one of the things I listened to was there was a time when Tiger Woods got caught fucking, like he apparently just he had like all kinds of women, you know what I mean? And Patrice O'Neill gets on there and he's like, "You're Tiger Woods. You're making $1 billion a year, right? You're the most famous black guy in the world. You know, you're only gonna fuck one woman. You're only every single woman wants to fuck you, every single one, and you're only gonna do one." Like, and I was like,
Yeah.
the logic makes perfect
It's
sense.
fucking, dude, Dean, have you ever heard the Tiger Woods message when
Oh yeah, I
it's in the
did.
mist?
Play it.
He's
Yeah.
he's calling one of his like he's got a girl each day of the week. Let's say this is Tuesday. He's like, hey, listen, Tuesday. Listen, my wife's getting a little suspicious. I need you to kind of talk about that alibi that we discussed. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Tiger. And it's just like it was
It's
business.
all business. Business. Yep.
Business. It's like, look, I got a routine going and nobody can beat me. I totally understood it. And they threw
Yeah.
the morality book at him and they killed it. I still don't. I hate golf and I love Tiger because of what they
Yeah.
did to him. What they did to him was
Do you know
horrible.
what they? Do you know who that woman was? She was called the Perkins waitress. She was a waitress at like a fucking Denny's. A Denny's. She's a girl at a fucking Denny's who was fucking Tiger, and she sold him out.
Oh,
Like,
they paid him. They give you
oh,
500K
oh,
for that message. Sure. And who wouldn't?
God.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so. But Jesus
it's
Christ,
horrible.
how would you feel
Well,
if the shoe was on the other foot? Go ahead.
if a woman sold me out, I'd be devastated.
No, no.
Oh,
What I mean is like, what if your wife was fucking lots of other people, but she's totally loyal to you. Like you are her husband. She takes care of you and stuff. But let's say she was a Tiger Woods ass figure, and she was just fucking dudes. you know.
I
But
think
you're
that
still her number one. You're number one.
I think the pressure from society to react is huge.
Um,
You
I
need
guess
to be
so.
pissed. You need to act a certain way because this is what you do. If not, you're weak. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of that plays in, but yeah, she hit him with the golf club. Wait, before we get Austin, you always do this. Yeah, Mel Gibson. I want to know why. What do you and Mel? That seems very odd. I
We
don't
want
know
to talk
what.
about the Jews, man. That's what's
Oh
going
yeah.
on.
Oh, that's it. He wants to talk about the Jews with Mel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an avid supporter of the Jews. So you guys will get along really well.
No, man, it seemed like he had some really good inside information, and I wanted to ask him about it.
Yeah. Well, he probably does. Now, I was thinking about mine because Dean, I think it'd have to be Trump. I think the one it would be
Yeah, but is
Trump.
Trump really a celebrity? Like
Yes.
he's beyond celebrity.
No, Trump.
He's like an icon.
First off, what Trump before he runs for president? Percentage of people that know Trump and like Trump.
Oh, it's way higher. People really like Trump.
They loved him. I never met one person that didn't. Not he was the 80s business guy. That's who he
Dude,
was.
you know what
Everybody loved Trump growing up when I was a kid.
do you
Wait,
know what
Donald Trump, the Epstein
Every
guy?
everybody loved Trump. What are you
do you
gonna
know what I
say?
was listening to the other day? Do you remember the theme song for The Apprentice?
No, I'd know it if I heard it.
Just
We don't hear anything, Dean.
Yeah, you're too far away.
You
We
got to
could
put it
hear
it's
it.
for the
closer.
love of it's the money, money, money song, you know? Money, money, money,
Oh yeah.
money. But in the beginning, there's this bass line that's like, bow, 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 and it was the perfect song. It was the perfect song because if you listen to the song, it's like a soulful Temptations track about how money corrupts you.
You, I,
It's a
Dean,
young virgin and corrupts her, makes her into a succubus, like that sort of shit. I was like, it's perfect song. It's perfect for Trump. It's
there's something about somebody that enjoys firing people. And I think if I Harry Chase, you win a day with Trump, I think the first thing he'd say to me is, Chase, tell me why shouldn't just dismiss you and let you go right now. Fire your ass. Why do I need to spend a day with you? Like
justify yourself to me.
President Trump,
Yeah.
let me answer that question. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Thank you.
Dude, can I get but that show, right? First of all, I only saw a couple episodes, but let's just remember what we remember about it. First the theme song, but also the iconic line. You fired. You fired.
Fired.
You fired. You know?
Love to
Like he
say
would
that.
to the point he would do it. You fired. You fired. Like people loved it. And you see, this is the poetry that people have to recognize in life. Like if you can recognize this is what I liked about that David Foster Wallace guy, by the way. If you can say something so perfectly that it resonates across an entire nation, every single person knows the line, you fired, then you fucking crack the system, man. The ability to do that is it's the mark of a genius. It really is.
Genius. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, Chase, if only you should do that with a therapist, like you should say at the end of every session, and you cured, cured,
That was
cured.
my that's similar to beer meets foods when he finishes something and asks for dessert. Yes.
Iconic.
Iconic. When I had a full day of sessions, I never came out, but when I did and people were around, oh, we never see you. Why are you out today? I saw 6 people. I cured them all. Cured them.
Yeah,
Cured. They're never
that's
coming
good.
back.
Good line.
They
It's
loved
a
it.
good line.
They
Yeah.
loved it. They were like, oh, do you really mean that? I'm like, absolutely.
Austin, this is the equivalent of a bandana, man. You have to have something. You got to have some kind of poetic license to express yourself in a meaningful way where it resonates with people. I've been reading this book on poetry, right? And they keep saying that the whole idea of poetry is that it forces the intellect to turn off. It forces you not to ask questions of definition because the words are so perfect, you accept them and they resonate with you. There's no room for debate because the words are so perfect that you just sit with them and they ruminate in your mind. You know, and I think that this is what you need, Austin. You need a catchphrase or a bandana, one of the two. Okay, so pick one and evolve into a new person.
I'll definitely think about it. What leads you to read about poetry, Dean? You teaching a class on it, or this is a personal endeavor?
Get this guy.
Uh, I was I write a poem every day as a like it's I do like these journals or whatever, and when I write in them, I always do at least a little couplet or a 4 line poem. Been doing that for like a year,
Read us the one
and
you wrote for today. My dick is small, yet
I
it's
didn't write one
precious.
yet. But I have had ones like that, you know. It's the one I did for yesterday.
That's a very
Uh,
good question, Austin. Well, I was wondering why you brought all this shit up too.
I
Fucking
really like
creep.
that
Yeah.
that poem that Trump wrote about the Enigma and stuff. I thought that was really good.
Trump wrote a poem. Wow.
Remember? He's like, "What's the meaning of life, Jeffrey? We know it's our secret. It's our enigma."
Really? Is that a real thing? Oh, they say it's real. Yeah.
I think it. Yeah, it's probably real. I don't know.
I do have one from yesterday if you want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You want to
I
hear my
think.
poetry? You want to hear? Yeah.
I think.
Chase
I
does
think.
not want to hear. I think Chase has got he looks like he just
I'm
took a
ready to
warhead.
judge. I'm ready to judge.
Right.
That's the face.
All right. Twist and choke. The life is broke. Feed and grow. The victim slow. Submit your soul and know your role. Squirm and die. Let loose that sigh. Fools do fight. You see that's right. Accept your fate. It's ready too late.
It's ready too late.
Too late. Yeah.
It's ready too late. Oh, comma, too late. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, reminds me of BTK. You have the same kind of find, torture,
Who's
kill.
BTK?
He was a prolific serial killer in like Wisconsin, but he was big into poetry
Yes.
too. Well, all the it was a pretty dark poem, man. I didn't expect that.
Well, no, what I was doing is I just read the Robert Frost poem about the kid losing his hand. But what they were talking about is how it's not just about rhyming, it's about having connection throughout every single word and every single line. And so he was keeping the connection with the buzz saw, the zzz sort of sound in it. And I was trying to think of a vine, like a vine twisting and choking and being parasitic and like kudzu in Alabama. You know what I mean? I was trying to think of that. So I was just playing with that image of kudzu like killing a tree, that sort of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
what do you
But
think, Chase?
the poetry. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it was kind of dark and twisted. Yeah. What
Yeah,
is it? Submit to your
Like
fate,
kudzu
bend
twist.
the
Like
knee.
I was imagining a tree like being choked out by kudzu, and like just it. There's nothing it can do. It's gonna fucking die. And so yeah,
Huh.
that's what I was thinking of with
Hey,
it.
what
if
do you
I
But
what I
anyways, what?
was gonna say, what do you think of people that write poetry that doesn't rhyme and they call it poetry?
Oh, like E. E. Cummings or something?
Where there's no flow and it's just an idiot talking, but just like in a tone.
Doesn't have to rhyme, but
It does.
what matters is there the resonance? Like, does it speak to people? Like Shakespeare oftentimes intentionally breaks rhymes and breaks meter, but it's sometimes the best shit he has.
Oh, Shakespeare beautifully intertwines it. But the shit that does not want rhyme, and it's just like, what the fuck? It's some idiot talking. Like, no,
Mm.
fuck off, man. Making it rhyme, at least on occasion, is the talent. To me, that's the talent. To find the words, to fit it, to flow like a real conversation, but in rhythm, that's who can do that? Very few people.
hmm.
Rappers.
No. Uh,
Yeah.
Rap lyrics, they've had great beats. Rap lyrics to me never impressed me because they're so shallow.
There's some good ones. There's some
There,
good
there
ones.
is some good ones, but they're temporary. I've never heard a whole song full of good ones. I've heard like, oh, there's a good line.
Have you listened to Tupac?
Maybe I don't know. No,
Some of Tupac's stuff, like it gets pretty deep, pretty deep. I think the same for like
they're great
Ghetto
at
Boys.
beats.
I
They're
really
great
like
at
Ghetto Boys.
beats.
Yeah, yeah. There's great, 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 great beats. That was what was good about that for Love of Money song. It has a bass line in the beginning that bow, 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 bow. That is iconic. Like a killer bass is so essential to a great song. Man. I love a good bass.
There's some creative one. There's a lot of 50 and Little Wayne. That's just horrible. I know. I never listened to rap. They had some good shit. They had some good
Yeah.
lines, man. Very impressive. Like I would use that in real life. Fucking shit, man. Yeah.
I used to say the Ice Cube line, like mom, make the breakfast with no hog.
I
So she
do.
used.
Do you know the Drake song with I
I don't know a
know,
single
I
Drake.
know? He says I know like 5 or 6 times in rhythm. I always do that. It's fun.
Dude,
It's
I
fun.
remember one time me and Vic, we were driving to Oneonta or something, and we found some tape cassette from you, Chase. It was like some who knows what it was. And Chase, Vic was like, listen to some of this music or whatever. And there was a rap song in there. And there was only one line in the entire rap song. I still remember it to this day. It was dollar after 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 dollar. Because dollars, you see, dollars make sense. And Vic thought that was the funniest shit. And he laughed so hard he had to pull over the car. He had to pull over the car. He was like, "This is what he listens to. This is what he listens. This is what he understands. And it's the only thing his brain can compute."
I think that's his great gift to being a father is taking his two sons individually and completely smashing the other one. That's their bonding time.
Dude, I remember as a kid, like I don't remember what I said, but I said something stupid. Like I had a slip of a tongue or something like that. And we were driving in the car and he pulled over the car and he couldn't stop laughing and he kept pointing at me. He said, "Jay, stop your comedy. I can't take your comedy. Your comedy's it's too much. It's too much. It's killing me." And I fucking hated him so much. I was like, just no, just, like that sort of thing. Yeah, I used to
Toughens you
crack.
up though, I guess, in a way. You know, it's a psychological beating, but it's good for you. It's good to take psychological beatings in life. It makes you a tougher person.
A beating can be medicine. Like
No.
sometimes you need a
That is a
good.
great quote. Dean Conrad, 2025.
See, the
Fucking
poetry's
beating
working,
can
man.
be medicine.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm gonna put that on the front of my book. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that does sound like yeah.
There
That
better
could
be
be one of your
context
books.
with that, or you'll be in
Yeah,
jail very quickly. Yes.
medical beating, by Chase Conrad.
Therapeutic beating by Dean Conrad.
Therapeutic beating by
Yeah.
Chase. I like that. I like
Psychological
that.
beating, though. Psychological. Yeah.
Can you imagine putting that on your resume? You're interviewing for your next job. We see you've got a publication called Therapeutical Beatings. Yeah. Well, what can you explain that? And you're like,
It just
no.
goes into the positive sides of being abused. Like, oh, okay, fantastic. Like, thank you.
Okay, okay,
Needs to be
okay.
explored. That's a great topic. Hey, before we forget, because Austin wants to meet Mel Gibson because he wants the best juice. I want to meet with Trump and I want to have McDonald's and, talk shit. Who do you want to meet, Dean? Who's the celebrity for you?
I think there's part of me that like,
Taylor
especially after
Swift?
all the Amber Heard stuff, I'd like to hang out with Johnny Depp for like just
Oh,
go
good
do some
choice. Great choice.
weird stuff with Johnny Depp. I think that'd be cool. One of the things I liked about that trial is it showed that Johnny's friends, like the people who worked for Johnny Depp, really fucking liked him.
Yeah.
Like they were 100% on his side, and they were 100% like this bitch is crazy. Johnny's the fucking,
Yeah.
which made me
Johnny's.
think I wish I was friends with Johnny.
What's your favorite Johnny Depp movie, man?
Fear and
There's a
Loathing in Las
whole
Vegas.
That's a great one. Good choice. Good
He
choice.
hung out with Hunter S. Thompson. I think he lived at his house for a while too. Like he got really into the character. I think it's one of my favorite movies ever. Like
I,
it's
I was introduced to that movie by Austin. This Austin, right fucking here, because he watched it.
Oh,
He's probably
really?
seen that movie
Oh.
50 times. I'm not joking. And he forced me to watch it 6 or 7 times. It's a great fucking
Dave's
movie.
introduced it to me.
It's a
Yeah, I
great
remember.
fucking movie. It's a great fucking movie. It's fantastic.
I
He
There's a
nails
lot
that
of great
movie.
lines in that. You remember any of the lines, Chase? I remember a few of the lines. You remember any of the lines?
Who's giving these fucking lizards drinks?
Who can
How
walk in this muck? I remember him go, let's get down to brass tacks. How much
much for the
egg?
monkey? That's right. Yeah.
And the way he talks is so great. Like that sort of voice like this.
This
Look,
pig had his way with me. Oh well.
this is bad country. Just like that.
He's fantastic drug fucking junkie, man. He's fantastic. Great.
Austin, have you ever read any Thompson? You ever read anything?
yeah, a little bit. I read Fear and Loathing and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I think he had a lot of books named that, but also Fear and Loathing on the campaign trail. I think it was like 72. Really,
His
just
political stuff is fascinating. Yeah.
yeah, really, really fun stuff. A lot of stuff is still very true today. He accused a congressman, I think, or somebody of being addicted to ibogaine. And this is one of the first references to iboga or ibogaine in the popular culture. Nobody knew what it was. But there's one story where he picked up a bunch of hippies hitchhiking at a gas station. That was really good. But yeah, he's a great writer. He's kind of a lunatic, but
I
See
was going to
him and
say
David
before I
Foster Wallace.
forget, Dean, the one last quote from that movie was, "You can always turn your back on a friend, but you never turn your back on a friend on drugs." And I was like, "Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right."
Um, good lines, man. Yeah, have you ever been in a situation akin to that high somewhere that you were not comfortable? You were like, the home is not nearby, and I'm stuck here. You know?
There's been moments where I could feel that the person was on the cliff. One was with you. One was with your brother, Garrett. He was tripping on the beach. I kept him positive. Could tell he was
Mm.
tilting in the darkness, and I brought him back to the balance. And Dean called me once in college tripping on shrooms.
Oh
And
yeah.
unbelievable, the most fear I've ever heard from him. And dude, is this ever going to end? And he's taking me here, and I got to get away from him. Like, dude, it's temporary, bro. It's not going
Oh,
to
that was
last.
a bad. I was
But
at
I
another guy's
I
house.
could have I
I
could have
was
pushed
so
you into
conviction.
the darkness, and it's like you can't do that to
No,
somebody.
you
No,
would never have done it. In fact, he gave me the best advice. It was some of the best drug advice ever, and it was. I think this is like an old Buddha saying, man. He's like, "It's gonna pass. It will pass." That was it. Just like it's gonna pass, you know.
it's the
And
ring of wisdom. This too shall pass.
that gave me some serious, like that was a real like lifesaver in the middle of an ocean of tripping, man.
Yeah.
Like I held on to that for dear life, and I survived. I survived. You know, there's that wonderful moment when you're tripping when you realize, oh, it's going down. It's finally I'm descending. You know, and it's slow and inevitable, but it's that wonderful feeling of it's peaked. It's peaked. Let's go back down. You know, that's that kept me going, brother. So thank you for that.
Well, so man, there's points of the darkness. You don't push anybody over the edge into the darkness. What was the question? Fuck.
What's the
You've
question?
ever been in a Dina asked, like, have you ever been in a situation on drugs where you're like in a really weird situation out of control or something like that?
You know, the other one, I was tripping shrooms with your brother Chris. We were at our buddy Eric's apartment, which was in the hood, but we were alone all day. And this fucker brought two or three friends over. I don't know. Like at the end, we were still tripping hard, and he brought them in, and those friends were not good.
I know it.
Their
That
energy
exact
was
same trip.
hood, and I was like,
Yeah,
Chris was struggling. He was trying his best to stay, and I was feeling it too. It's just like, man, they left pretty quickly, but I was like, man, thank God, that was tough.
dude.
It's
I
tough.
remember that. See that situation I was in when I was tripping balls. It was the same situation. I was at a friend's house, and this guy he had the house where people came and went. You know what I
Right,
mean? People were
right,
always coming and going.
right.
I remember this guy came in. I remember I knew him. I'd met him before, like a kind of friend, but he was radiating this darkness. Like I looked at him and I knew he was fucking suicidal. Like I could feel his depression and sadness like radiating from him. And I went up to him. I was like, my brother, you need to get some help. Like shit
Hang on.
like that.
So
You're fucking man.
me and this fucker's brother Chris tripping balls. We watched every single Planet Earth DVD when it first came out.
Perfect idea. Great
It was
idea.
a great
Yeah.
idea. It was a great idea. We watched everyone, and I remember this bird in its nest, and it's in a tree. And this bird, you know, is trying to fly. It falls from its nest, and we're watching this tripping balls. The leaves are catching the bird and
Mm.
gently lowering him to the floor. It was, and both of us were like, "You see it? It's catching him." He was like, "We both saw it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was true nature. It was like, let me take care of you. Let me get you to
Yeah.
the ground." It was for 3 or 4 hours there. It was fucking beautiful,
Austin,
beautiful.
does Edwin trip?
Uh, I'd rather not. Yeah, I don't want to. Cause I
Oh,
don't
sorry,
know.
sorry.
Yeah, just because like for like legal reasons, I don't want to talk for anybody else on that.
Oh, well, what I was gonna say is like intimacy on when you're tripping is really one of the beautiful things, man. And not even sex. I just mean being with somebody you love while you're tripping. It can be a real because those are some of my favorite moments. You know, like just the sensation of connection made a million times better because you're both on the same plane. You know, that's one of my favorite things. It's a shame you never got to do that with one of those Thai girls, you know, or something like that. You know,
Who?
you,
You talking to Austin and me?
Thai girl. What did you, Austin? Does
You were
Austin have?
talking about connections with you're talking to Austin, and you said Thai girl. Look at that trip. I got high with the chick. I got the best weed and got her high for the first time. That was a connection. She
Mm.
appreciated it. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I can
But
find some marijuana in the States. That'd be nice.
Some what?
I bet it could we could make it happen. I mean, we there's a legal edible cannabis below 10 milligrams, so it's very easily accessible if you like edibles because of the hemp law that passed. But I will say, I think mushrooms are one of the the best like interpersonal enhancers I've ever taken. Some of the best conversations of my entire life have
Yeah.
taken place on mushrooms. So I'm eternally grateful. I mean, they really open me up socially in a way that nothing else does, even other psychedelics.
What do they do for you,
Austin,
Austin?
I mean, it's really complicated. They definitely dissolve my ego and let me allow me to see things not in a really novel way. But definitely, it takes down the kind of like boundaries I have normally when I'm talking to people. I'm a lot more creative on them, and I'm more willing to express ideas and kind of like go down rabbit holes in a way that I wish I was more like in sober life. But it's like shrooms brings it out of me, and in a really positive way.
If I was say the one thing I get when I talk to you is exactly that. It's like I wish there was more of the Austin answer, I guess. You try very hard to stay like the gray t-shirt. Like you do really good at it. Probably because they're on
good point.
sale.
Austin, man. This is your metaphor. You know what? Maybe that is your signature, the gray t-shirt. That's
100%.
that's your bandana. It's the
It's
gray t.
comfortable. Can't deny the gray is fucking fantastic. It feels
It's
good.
so fucking boring. I'm
No.
abandoning gray. Gray is everybody wears it. It's so boring and neutral. You know what you need, Austin? Lime green. Lime green. Yeah. How about it? Adopt that as a color.
Yeah, it's funny you should say it. I just ordered a winter jacket. There's a lot of different varieties of color.
It's
I
lime green.
Oh,
it's
blue.
it's like a high vis green. It's a
Oh,
you could call it a lime. It's lime
Yeah.
adjacent at
You see how
least.
we said that? High vis. High vis. That's not a fashion statement. That's a safety statement. You know?
Yeah, I got it for like the motorcycle, you know. So you're right. You saw
I'm
through me on that one.
disappointed. Disappointed. Austin, are you a hugger?
no.
Eh, I prefer not to be touched generally.
When's the last time you hugged your brother?
Uh, uh I'll hug a brother, you know.
When's the last time?
It wasn't that long ago. A few
Yeah.
months ago at the most, yeah.
Was it a like a side hug or a full on like I love you, man hug?
It was a full hug. I'll hug you if I know you pretty well, like my friends, you know, Brian. Certain people I don't touch that I've known for a long time, like Bobby. Me and Bobby don't hug.
Oh, that's understandable.
Not that I have anything against him, but now that I think about it, we never even like touch each other. But yeah, pretty weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Give you a firm handshake. That's what he gets.
Well,
No.
we don't even shake each other's hands.
Oh
We just
my
don't touch
God!
each
There's
other.
like these bubbles. You know,
Maybe they
you just
bow.
touch each
I
other's
always like
arms.
the
Yeah,
bow. The bow is fantastic. I'll fucking bow. Sure. It's great.
guys, I've changed something in my classroom. So I learned. I've been my Chinese is getting a lot better, and I learned something this week that this is how a Chinese class works. Like they do this only in elementary school, but when you walk into a class, a teacher in Chinese says, you know, 向卡. And that just means like, you know, up class. And then every single student stands up and they go, 老师好, you know, like and bow down to you. And now I'm making all of my students do it. I'm at every single class, I make them get up and bow to me, you know, and they're like, we haven't done this since kindergarten. I was like, I don't care. You're doing it. All right. And yeah, I love starting every class with that 上课, and then they all bow to me. It's a nice little ritual. I appreciate it.
Hmm. Very
It's empowering.
y-
If I could have people
Yeah.
bow to me on a daily basis, I would. 100%. 100%.
老师好. Yep. I remember. I love it. It's
What do
so
they
much
call
fun.
you? Sensei Dean? Or is that
老师.
Japanese? Lao Shi?
老师.
Lao Shi.
Yeah, yeah. They say Conrad 老师, you know, or Mr. Conrad, you know,
What
whatever.
about Divine Dean? What is that? How do you say that?
They usually, if you're talking about friends, they call me Megwa Lauban, which is American boss. That's what they call me. Yeah.
Do you make your kids call you the boss as well?
It's not, and they call me Lao Shi. So both Lao is old, right? So Lao Shi is like old wise man, which is teacher, right?
Well,
And Lao Ban is like the old boss, like the old man who runs the shit, you know. So
What life hack that I've figured out? All my jobs, last three or four, I've had women bosses. You know what I
yeah,
call them?
honey,
I call them
baby,
boss. I go, hey, what's up, boss? If they
boss.
need me in their office, what
It's
can
a
I do
good
for you,
move.
boss? What's up? They love it. They could tell they start to smirk on their face when a man calls them a boss. They
Oh yeah.
love it. And they
Mhm.
always had my back. What is this person
So boss.
finding? That's it.
So good. I remember one time I was working at a restaurant, and there was a guy I was working with, and he had made the executive decision to call everybody baby.
Hey,
You
baby.
know,
Hey,
you know,
baby.
yeah, it was like that. It was
Like
like kind of in
butthead. Hey,
a
baby.
suave, kind of like, but you know, but he would like he'd say something. He'd come up to me like, "Dean, what's happening, baby?" You know, like that sort of thing.
I mean, that's all right. I like that. I like the baby.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I got so used to it that I started to like it, and I wanted him to call me baby. It made me like it more. You know
What
what
do
I
you
mean?
like? Do you like the butthead baby? Hey, baby. Or do you like the
Hey,
Johnny Bravo
River,
baby? Hey, baby.
River,
Hey,
River.
baby.
And they're both
Both
kind of
great.
good.
Both great.
I
Either one's
like
gonna
them
get you the
both.
girl. Either one, guaranteed.
Hey,
Yeah.
River.
Hey, baby.
Butthead was. I like Beavis with his. Hey, what's going on?
No, 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 no. What was Beavis's greatest line was what?
I am Conjulio.
No, no. Well, they will say that. That's his greatest line. Someone would say something. He goes, "Oh, well, I'll be damned." He'll say it so serious. I'll be damned. I'll be damned.
Dude, there's this guy who's done animate Chase. I think it's as good as Big Les. There's this new animations that I found, and they're what they are is they're like basically Baldur's Gate. Like there's a
Really?
barbarian going around who's chaotic good, so he's doing crazy
That's
evil
me.
shit.
Yeah.
His voice is Butthead. It's just the Butthead voice, and he's like, I will not tolerate
Oh,
evil.
I've seen these. Yeah, I've seen them.
They're good. They're good. Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Do you ever see the Beavis and Butthead clip where they make the really intelligent guy stupid because they tripped over his
Yes, that was Chase's
electrodes?
favorite one. He's what did he say again?
Now he's gifted.
No, he's I love
Uh,
they're all great. They're all fucking great, man. You know. Austin, I'm sorry. This is the level of intelligence that me and Chase used to operate at. You know, it's not quite that Bobby level.
we need some more Beavis and fucking Butthead out there. We need people just not understanding a conversation and saying, "Well, I'll be damned." You know, that's what we need more of in life. It's just nobody's got a sense of humor.
This is what I'm
Everybody's
saying.
fucking gray all the time. It's fucking awful.
Catchphrases like saying "you everybody cured every
Cured.
single like or saying like God damn, like that sort of like little things like that. People need things like that,
Just,
like people appreciate it.
Dean, I watched Beard versus Foods today. He was in Singapore. He ate all the
Yeah, yeah.
sandwiches and they were all Asianly impressed, taking pictures. And he goes, "Oh, do you have a dessert menu?" And the girl's face was just, I
God.
cannot tell if you're serious or joking.
It's
I
it's
cannot
the
tell.
ultimate,
It was
the ultimate.
fantastic. It was great.
He figured it out. He
It was
figured it
great.
out. It's so fucking smart. Like Austin, you've
Perfect.
seen the man versus beard, right?
Beard
Yeah,
meets food. He's great. I wish I
sure.
could eat that.
Every single person loves it. Everybody. Nobody hates fucking Mambers. He's so likable. They love watching him. It's always charming. People are happy to see him. Like he figured it out. Like he figured it out. By the way, Chips, have you ever seen one of those challenges where you're like, I could fucking do this? You ever
Mm,
seen one where you're like, I could do
mm.
it?
If I didn't eat for a day, maybe.
I saw one where I was like, I could do that. He had a corn dog challenge. It's corn
Mm,
dogs,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was just like it was like 12 corn dogs. I was like, I think I can do it. I think I could do the 12 corn dogs, man. I think I
Easily,
could
easily.
easily. Because I remember as a kid, remember the frozen corn dogs? They were really awful. I hated them. They tasted bad, but go through tons of them.
Now, me and my buddy Eric, he was on the show. We cooked 50 at a time, fucking high as shit. Tons of ketchup. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Love a corn.
Speaking about lowbrow humor, did you guys ever watch Crank Yankers on? I think it was on Comedy Central back in the day.
Long time
I
ago.
remember.
Yeah, I remember a couple of those calls. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting back into prank calls. Like, you can find these things, these compilations on, YouTube or whatever. There's one guy, he tells people his name is Roy Gerbel, and no one ever catches on to the funniness of the name. But
Roy Trebell.
Gerbil, like gerbil, but
Mhm.
it's pretty wild. I mean, it's just like it's very
Trebell.
funny. He has these tropes he goes through, like if the guy's wife is talking in the background and say like, "Can you shut that bitch up?" And like it's just funny on a really it's just deeply funny. And he calls like old people and says like, "Hey, we're on the space station. We're shooting laser beams at your house. Like, can you go outside and make sure it's not affecting anything?" It's really it's silly stuff, but it's hilarious when because these people buy it and they'll have a 15-minute conversation with somebody they think is on a spaceship shooting laser beams onto their house. I find it very entertaining.
Dude, that
I do really
conversation
like
could
the
be true nowadays. Fuck. Shit.
I, I like the idea of just you're having a very normal conversation and then you say, "Excuse me, shut up, bitch!" Like that would be great. I would love what it change. But I'm sorry about that. What were we saying?
I the other there's one like my favorite one is when he pretends to be a resident at like a hotel or an apartment building, and he calls them up and he's saying that he's flushing silly things on the toilet, and they're saying stop. They're imploring him deeply. They say, "Please stop flushing the toilet." And he keeps playing the sound effect over and over again, and people lose their mind. People lose their mind.
That's pretty brilliant. What
Oh,
is
all of a sudden you made me.
It's even funnier when it's just like the very concept is funny, but like when you hear these people, I don't know if you've dealt with a lot of property managers in your day. These like apartment managers, they're like generally like very uptight people. It's kind of like a pattern, and so I really like to see them. I like to see them in that put in that position. I like
squirm?
one.
How do you
Squirm.
just say like what? I'm not allowed to flush what? Well, I already did. Sorry. What about this thing? Can I do it? What is this? Like,
Another one, same person of authority convinced them that he's on a roof and he dropped a ladder, and he, he won't tell them where he's at unless they tell him what room he stays in. It's good stuff. I'll send it to you. I think you guys really enjoy it.
All right, yeah, that'd be good, brother. Thank you. Need a
I
little
really will.
comedy like that in my life. Austin, did you ever look up The Hypnotist with Adam Sandler? Did you ever listen to that?
It's a classic.
Uh,
You need
I
to
know
do
I've
that. It's your
Colt.
I know
homework.
I think the Colt is better, Chase. The Colt is better.
No,
That's
they're both
that's.
great.
I think the Colt one's the best.
is it a
Yeah.
skit or is it a
No, it's
prank
real.
It's
call?
a
It's real.
it's a skit, but it was back. It's real. Back in the the days of that. I remember. It's funny about some of these comedies. How you remember? I remember one of the times I saw Chase really get emotional in a movie, and it wasn't because he was laughing. He was angry at the movie because it was from Billy Madison when they're doing the big game show at the end. And Adam Sandler chooses one of the topics, and the guy's like, "It's the Industrial Revolution," and Chase is like, "No, that's not what he chose. It's my wife is a filthy whore." You know, that's the one he chose, and he was so angry because the movie lied. It was supposed to be that one. You remember that, Chase? Yeah.
No, no, I don't. No.
It's like my wife, the filthy whore.
That totally picked that category. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's that
I
one
love
where he.
that.
Go ahead.
Well, I always think about this when somebody like wrongs me and then makes up. There's a part of the movie where he calls, is it Bashimi? Is it
Yep.
the
Yep.
actor?
Yep.
And he's
Yep.
like, "Hey man, like I know we were really rough on you in high school and stuff, but I just want to apologize." And he's like, "Hey, no, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's not a big deal." And he puts down the phone, he takes out the book, and he like crosses his name out. Anytime anyone ever like makes up with me, I spontaneously get that in my vision.
Austin,
I
what
Oh
else? What
my
else did
God,
he
Austin.
do? No, no, no. Austin, what else did he do
He
after he
was a
marked the
critical
name
figure in
off?
the plot.
What did he do?
I think he put some red lipstick on.
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
right. So you need to remember that. So whenever someone apologizes to you, you mark their name off and then you put on your lipstick and pucker up. That's the important part. Yeah. Yeah, man, no
That's right.
problem. I
That
didn't even
was
think about it.
great.
I appreciate you
I
calling.
forgot about that.
Great line.
That was a
Great
good one.
line, man.
Sandler must have had a weird genius to him. There were so many strange things in that movie. You remember the Doyle? The Doyle rules. You remember that?
Doyle died. Doyle, I got a feeling something really bad's gonna happen to you and your family really, really soon. Oh, Doyle rules. Banana on the road. Fucking
And
God.
it was all connected. Everything was connected in that movie, man. It was true brilliant.
I
Talk about
wanted to
poetry.
be O'Doyle. I liked kind of O'Doyle. Can you imagine teaching your son that? Listen, we're bigger and stronger. O'Doyle rules. O'Doyle rules. Yeah.
Do you think you like? I see one thing I wonder. I wonder about people generating comedy. Somebody had the idea, like, what if you just put Adam Sandler in kindergarten and first grade? Like, what would? And then it just generated out of
Well,
that. Like that might be
Adam
tremendous.
Sandler movies or Chris Farley movies back then?
Well, they often cross over. You know,
Now, which one you got to pick if you got to pick one?
I think Adam Sandler movies are better,
Really?
but I love Chris Farley. I mean, come on. I mean, like Black Sheep,
Loved it.
uh, Tommy Boy. They're great
Loved
movies,
it.
but I
Coneheads.
feel like Adam Sandler's are
Coneheads.
better in terms of funny. You know,
Nah,
Tone.
they're close. They're close either way. It's close. They're both
Yeah,
great. I'm gonna go
yeah,
with Farley. I'm gonna go with Farley. Farley made me laugh harder.
they're great. Carl, as an actor,
Yeah,
Farley is superior, but I
yeah,
think Sandler's movies are more
they're
generally
great.
funny.
Well, overall, but laughing harder, Farley.
Farley does make me laugh crazy hard.
Herbie Hancock, remember that? For his answer on your historical quiz. This is the beginning of the movie.
No, what was that? I don't
Dean
remember that.
Herbie Hancock.
Vaguely. Is that wait? Is that the one with Gary Busey? Is that Gary Busey when he?
It's Tommy Boy, man. It's Tommy Boy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's all
I
right.
remember Gary Busey and Chris Farley.
Dude, Austin made a great point. Coneheads. Remember how great Coneheads was? It's a great movie.
Oh,
Great.
I always say
Perfect. It might be the perfect movie, actually.
the
Could be the perfect
American
movie.
Dream, ultimate American Dream movie. You know,
They
like
they
build
start
hard.
to like it. They start to like it.
I start to like it, the American Dream. And it resonates today with Ice in the Streets too. It could be a movie for a generation. You
It
know,
really
so
did. Like I was watching it the other day on YouTube, and that's why it came up. I was watching Chris Farley, man. He had a really amazing like presence. I was like, dude, I can see why this guy was a star. He was like, he was a dancing, and he was like put up his collar, and he was like moving his head in
Elvis.
this crazy
Yeah.
way. I was like, dude, this dude's a star. Like he has it. He has the X factor. But yeah, I was actually thinking that too, Dean, because it's like the whole thing is about like immigration violations. I didn't remember a lot of that movie.
We are from France.
Dude, the Farley had that weird thing where he was a fat guy, but he had unbelievable like athletic ability. You know what I mean? Like he didn't move like when I think big fat dude, I think of like dying, slowly moving. But he just seemed this limitless energy, and he could bounce around and like dance and move and jerk, and like, it was just like some kind of freak athlete sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely like an explosive energy. Like this guy would be like on the line on a
How'd he
football
die?
team.
How'd he die again?
Drugs,
OD.
you know. Yeah. Jim Brewer. You guys know who Jim Brewer is?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Hmm.
He's
Of
a
course.
dope boy
Yeah.
back in.
Jim's great.
Oh
He's
yeah, I
good.
like him.
He told a Farley story once, like, and this was like apparently before he died. Farley comes back to SNL to host, and Jim Brewer was on at the time, and they were hanging out because Jim was a drug guy. So like Farley comes up and he's like, "We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be pals," because he had the drugs. You know what I mean? So, anyways, they're hanging out all week. Jim's at home, gets a call, and his wife picks up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Chris, what's up? Yeah, Jim's here." Picks up the phone, and he's like, Jimmy, let's go out, let's party, and stuff. And he's like, I can't do it and stuff. And he's like, here's what he said. He said, Jimmy, am I funny, or am I just a big stupid fat guy? You know?
Both. Both.
And then so he was, he has to have this whole. He's like, then I had to fucking tell him how great he is. And like a few days later, he killed himself.
You know what he was looking for in that moment?
I don't know.
You guys know.
What?
He was looking for a real boy. He's like, you're both, bro. People see you as a fat fucking slob that fucking caters to the masses, but you are fucking hilarious. He needed the truth, and Jim failed him.
Dude, the truth could be too. Maybe the truth will break him. I guess he was already broken, but I don't know.
Did I had a perfect example today with a client. At the end of the session, what my greatest fear is, Chase? I was like, what? He's like, the things that people don't say about me, like the things they don't tell me. Like I am terrified what they're thinking about me all the time.
Good.
And I go, dude, if I could sum you up, you are the guy that wants to say all this stuff and never does. Like that is who he is. I was like, that's you. Like you fear yourself. And he was just like, that's fucking you.
Broke him. Good job, brother.
I did. I broke him. I think he might
that was?
have an
Jeez.
episode.
That was
Yeah,
a therapist level up moment.
it was
That was
That was
like
great.
a
a
little light come around you, like, all right, let's add some stats. Let's add some attributes to this fucker. He fucking nailed
It's great.
it, man.
He was
yeah, that was
first.
a PhD level mental jujitsu there.
Not really. It was if you knew the guy, you'd be like, dude, you're describing yourself. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. Like it was too much for him.
I was having a conversation about friends the other day. Like, what is a friend? I don't think it was with you guys. It's like a friend is somebody that can tell you the worst thing about yourself without hurting your feelings.
It's a good definition.
That
Kind
was
of like a
like
therapist.
the line was, you know, a friend will help you move. A good friend will help you move a body.
Great friend.
You know,
Yeah. Best friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, sort of thing.
That's a great quote. I use that all the time with people. Yeah.
Hmm.
In therapy.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
therapeutic. Jung said that, I
Austin,
think.
Austin, did you ever
Yeah.
read Epicurus? Did you do any
Uh,
Epicurus?
yeah, a little bit.
Spends a lot of time with friends on the concept of what a friend is, and
Yeah,
basically his simple definition was a friend is who makes you happy. You know, as simple as that. You know, the people that you guys, the presence of each other maximizes the potential happiness.
yeah. I totally agree with that, and I might remember reading that. I like those old Stoics, man. They gave great advice. Like, hey, surround yourself with good friends.
Well, let
Like,
me
it's a
ask you
really,
this.
really
Let
good
me ask you
advice.
this before we tail off and end here. That what is the guy's name we were talking about earlier? What was the poet, Dean?
Do you mean Wallace?
Yeah. Why do they always kill themselves, man? These are the greatest
Austin,
minds.
Austin's probably a better answer.
Because I was looking at this guy, he hung himself on his front porch and left his wife a message. I was like, good God, bro. Come on.
Oh, really? You know, it's funny. When you read his fiction, suicide comes up quite often, and he uses a weird phrase for it. It's an infinite jest. He calls it like eliminating your own map. I don't know where he got that, but you could see, especially I sent Dean a chapter on depression. I'm not sure. He's a therapist talking to a young woman, and I think you can tell that that was a real view into his depression, like this all-encompassing kind of
Sure.
sickness. And when you're inside of it, you can't see outside of it. That's like the one really scary thing about depression, especially for myself. When you're in the depths of it, you can't even remember what it is to be happy, you know. And yeah, it's very sad. I don't know if I never read his note or anything like that. So ultimately I don't know why he did it. I think he was just depressed. And I think you might be a genius and have everybody love you, but if you can't feel it, then it doesn't matter. And I would say sometimes success reveals the worst thing that can happen, because you get what you think you wanted and you realize that you're still unhappy, and then you have nothing else to strive for. You're already considered a genius. You write a magnum opus that is lauded as one of the best like
Yeah.
postmodern
All
novels
right.
ever
But
written.
Austin, but what if Jim gives him what he needs in that moment instead of kissing his ass, which like Farley wanted. Farley wanted someone to be real with him. What if he was different? I wonder if he'd still be alive. I wonder
See,
if that's
the one thing that's clear from his interviews is he is totally self aware of his genius. He absolutely knows he is a genius, right?
and I'm
Like,
sure he's told he's a genius. That's
yes,
got to
but
be
also,
crippling to handle. That's heavy. It's too heavy.
uh, he was recommending David Lynch. He's a huge David Lynch fan, and there's a David
Mm.
Lynch movie I haven't seen. I saw it this week. Austin, you ever seen Blue Velvet?
I haven't. I've seen Eraserhead. I haven't seen a lot of
Yeah,
Lynch.
Eraser, it's interesting, but Blue Velvet, I thought was a better movie. Blue Velvet had one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen in a film ever. Ever. It was so shocking. I could not believe what I was seeing. And um, Foster Wallace worships this movie. He said it was a pivotal moment of his life when he saw this movie. I was like, all right, let me see this movie, see what it's about. And it was such a celebration of darkness just under the surface, right? Where everything looks perfect and pretty on the surface, but underneath it is the most twisted, dark, fucked up thing you could ever imagine. And I have to imagine he must have seen himself in that. You know, there must have been unbelievable twisted darkness deep inside of him that none of us can realize, because that movie was that. It was so fucked up. Absolutely fucked up. And yeah, I think it must have been similar to him. That must have been some source of connection.
I totally believe that. Yeah, because there's a lot of very dark elements in Infinite Jest too, and he talks about film like theory and critique. One of the main people in the book is a filmmaker, and the book circles around this idea of a film that is so, or a piece of media that is so engrossing that it basically drives you insane. And the Canadians are using it against the Americans to try to win this weird kind of war that they're having. But yeah, it makes sense, dude.
Powerful piece of art can do amazing things, you know. And I really, you guys should watch that Blue Velvet movie. It's very odd, very strange, but it really is. As you're watching it, you're aware of two things. This is 100% not Hollywood. It's not Hollywood. And the other thing is just this. There's an art to darkness and evil that can be just as amazing as the good art and the light
Oh,
art.
probably
You know?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, David Lynch, he was really big into meditation. I think he gave
Huge
like
meditation guy. Yeah.
lectures and stuff. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. You know what? I said I watched Eraserhead. I stopped. There was a scene in that movie where this lady is like dancing on a stage, and there's these worms that are falling from
Got
the
the cheek.
sky,
Yeah.
and it's I couldn't handle it, man. It was like, and
Oh,
I like weird fiction. I like weird stuff. I like Lovecraft, and I was like I can't do this. Like I don't even. It was too much even for me. I might go back to it, but
Austin, you need to watch that Blue Velvet Man. It's not that extreme. Like Eraserhead goes to a whole surreal level, but this one, like my jaw, it's not like hostile, like gore or something. It's just shocking, shocking what they show. You know, like it's not like blood or gore. It's just like they go where you don't think films are allowed to go. You know, and the other thing is that have you ever seen Twin Peaks, Austin? You ever watch any Twin Peaks or anything like that?
no, it's really there's a guy like Isaac Weishaupt that did a whole series about it. Apparently, it's like very deeply occult, right? It has a lot of esoteric ideas in it.
It's the one TV show I really want to get into, but I just can't. I just can't because it was in the 90s and I it's so 90s and so dated and I can't get it, but they came back and finished it under Showtime and it was all David Lynch and stuff. And it's one of those shows that's surrealist like Eraserhead and like there's all these weird things that don't make sense, but it supposedly when you get to the end everything connects, absolutely everything connects, you know, like in a way that's just shocking and like everybody was totally blown away by it and said it's like a total masterpiece start to finish. But they asked David Lynch like when he was making this in the 90s and stuff, did he have any idea where it was going? And he said no. He said, I just knew it was time to do this. It was time to do. He had no idea about any of the connections. He had no idea where it would end. But he said through meditation, he always knew the story needs this, the story needs this, the story needs this. And he just trusted that it would all connect in the end. Almost as if he wasn't creating it. He was simply just taking bits of the story that was already out there. And
He
it
was the
all
instrument for the divine. Yes.
and I think that's not a joke. I think that's absolutely true. I really do think he tapped into something through the power of meditation.
I totally believe that, and it's something I wanted to mention too. I mean, I know we're about to end, but I told you one of my pervasive symptoms was like kind of feeling uncomfortable, and it interferes with reading. And in the dream journal, I've been meditating for about an hour a day, for maybe a week or two, if that. And the other day, I sat down and read several books without feeling any discomfort. So
Wow.
pretty remarkable, and haven't spent. I don't can't even remember the last time I was able to really sit down and read comfortably for a period of time. And
You
just
think that's improved since you started talking to me and Dean? So
uh, it does help. Having friends and
yeah, well, there you
socializing, it
go.
does help.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
I mean, it was I know it sounds really basic and kind of like not a big deal, but for me, it was a huge deal. And I'm just like it just proves to me again how powerful meditation is, because I didn't even really, it just seems like it's such a simple thing, but I was comfortable, and I was able to sit for a long time and just read various books about philosophy, which I had been doing for months. So it was it was a big deal.
Congratulations, pal.
Thanks,
I
man.
can't I hate how jealous I am of you. I really hate this.
I'm not jealous at all. I truly mean when
Meditation
I
has
say
stagnated.
congratulations.
Fucking stagnated. Congratulations
Wait,
on
before I forget this, I sent you a text, Dean. There's a cartoon. I don't know if you've seen it, Austin. Season 1 and 2 were might be one of the best cartoons I've ever seen in my. It's called Smiling Friends. Did you see the Smiling?
I have seen it. Yeah, I think I've seen most of it.
It's good. One and
It's
two
wonderful.
season. The new season's not very good, but 1 and 2 is quite good. It's a good show. It's a short little 10 to 12 minute episode, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic. You should watch season 1 and 2, D. You would really enjoy it.
It's exactly
uh
the kind of humor Chase would be into.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I'll
It's
maybe
weird.
make it.
It's
Maybe.
good. It's fun to watch.
All right. Enough of this shit. Yeah, let's end it there.
All right.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the Divine Brothers podcast. We will see you next time. Bye bye.